degrees. They don't get a clown college degree. You know, that's Dr. Robinson, clown college.
That's like my house.
All right, we're in the middle though of something a little less prosaic. We're in the middle of looking at some biases in relationships. One of our current biases is that, or you like to think that males and females are going to be equal in relationships. The reality is, however, this has not been the case historically, and it is still not the case in many cultures around the globe. The basic way to think of it, in many cultures, marriage has been seen as a hierarchy, and in a hierarchy, someone's got to be on top. In many cultures, the males went, well, I guess we'll do it. And so, it's sort of, I've been really thinking a lot about the genders. It's just like, this is going to sound weird, but it's just people that then we go, because you're a female, you should do this, and you do this. And it's been really weird, because I've never thought about genders in that way before. And, but it's very weird that we basically, many cultures say to females, you're a second-class citizen. But it's very weird. We're going to see some things that cultures have done to females in this. So, women throughout history have really been seen as property. They went from their father's house to their husband's house. They were seen as property of one or the other. And so, one gender throughout history has attempted to rule over the other. I don't know of any example of a culture where the women have ruled as a matriarchy. I don't know of any example of that. The males seem to do this. We seem to rule over. Now, our culture, no surprise, guess where we get our idea of who should rule. Well, let me turn this down. Hopefully this shows up in the online version. If not, they have the slides. I have this particular picture. One, I love these doors. These doors were made, what, in the 1100s or 1000s? And there's beautiful doors. I'll turn the lights back on here in a second. There's beautiful doors. And what they're representing, and it's going to be important for us, is why our culture has very often assumed that males should rule over females. So here's the story in the Jewish epic, which was adopted by the Christians and the Muslims. My Hebrew's rusty, so I'll paraphrase things. I don't know Hebrew. Males and females are there. We're all very happy, minding our own business. One day Eve, strolls off, and there she is, and there's a beautiful tree, which does not say anywhere in the Jewish epic, does not say apple at all. Many people think it may have been a banana tree, or a pomegranate, whatever, but it wasn't an apple tree. So anyway, they're wandering off, Eve's like, la 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 la, and there's a serpent, and the serpent says, hey, would you like an apple? Or would you like a banana? And Eve's like, I love bananas. And my Hebrew is rusty. Yeah. So she then eats the fruit, whatever it is, gives it to Adam in the Jewish epic, and causes the downfall of humans. In the Jewish epic, now many epics have beliefs that they accuse women of creating the downfall. Like the Greeks had a myth that mankind, one of my favorites is the Greek myth of how women were created. That males, that is just men, were in existence, and then Prometheus went and stole fire, and so for his punishment he was tied to a rock and an eagle ate out his liver. Right? You've heard this story? You know your Greek mythology. If not, that's how Prometheus got punished. And men got punished. They were given women. I know. I would have taken the eagle any day of the week, right? So, I'm with you. Right? So, they're not just given any woman, they're given Pandora, who for some reason is given a box with all the evils of the world in it and told not to open it. So, of course, what does Pandora do? Of course, she opens the box. All the evils of the world fly out. Hope gets stuck on the hinges. Not 100% sure why that's the case. But so, in Greek mythology, women are responsible also for all the evils in the world. Thank y'all very much. But this is it in the Jewish epic, which has been adopted by Christians and Muslims. Now, And that's this panel right here. Here's God strolling through the garden looking for Adam and Eve. Sees what's happened. God is pointing his finger blaming Adam. Adam's pointing his finger blaming Eve. And Eve is, of course, blaming the snake. Everybody blames everyone else. Lest you think this is a one-off thing, in the Jewish scriptures, Yahweh, the Jewish God, says, all right, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, and sorrow shall thy bring forth children. Lest you think this was just an epic that no one cared about. When anesthesia was developed in the 1800s, many people argued that women shouldn't be allowed to take it in childbirth because it went against this little verse, sort of. Also, many people have used this in the Jewish epic to say why women should be subservient. The Christians picked up on this. I'll just give you a passage from the Christian scriptures. They also picked up on this, and this is still present in many, many cultures today. Right? This question of, are males and females equal? But for most of Western history, I didn't do this. You're looking at me like I'm personally responsible. You're like, I hate you, right? Just, If I had a mirror right here, I didn't do it. I'm just trying to go. I've been really thinking a lot about how males have basically said, you're not a person, you're a second-class person. When you think about it that way, that seems really strange. All right. This is one of my favorite quotes from Stephanie Kuntz. She wrote a book called Marriage, A History, where a lot of this research comes from. And she writes that it was thought improper if a husband and a wife were too familiar. Now, what does too familiar mean? Where she called him by his name. So, and if you ever like historical documentaries or historical books, they'll like call their husband like Mr.
In our culture, we still don't call our husband or father or anyone with their name.
Anyone by their name?
I mean, if it's your husband, you don't call them by their name.
What do you call them?
If you have a kid, you call them his or her father, or there's just like a small word, tome. For the husband, you don't call them with the name.
Why?
Now they say it's because of respect, that you respect them, but I guess this is.
Do you get a respect word?
No. We have been called by the name, like, so whatever the name is, like, come here or you come there. We cannot do that. We have to call them, Emily's my daughter, Emily's father. You know, that's how I have to call them.
What if you have more than one child? What if you have more than one kid?
The older kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if Emily's first, and then you have a boy, does she get pushed out of the
way?
way?
If it's a boy, yeah, then you tell boy's name.
So basically, what are you basically saying to females?
That you're just here to bear kids, and even when you're not married, your parents are gonna say you're a burden. We cannot sleep until.
They call you a burden?
I mean, in a very good language. We need to, get rid of you, get you married, and we cannot keep you after a certain age. We cannot keep you in
the house. What is that age?
18, 19, or maybe max 20.
So your parents have kicked you out? Like they're like,
no, they will find a groom for you and go get married, get married, get married, get married. It's like, at my age, you were like, everyone's gonna talk. Find a husband for her. Find a husband for her.
So is everybody doing this for you?
Yes.
So, we have a worldwide audience. We can. Do you like New Zealand? I don't like places. I tell you what. Why don't you just like walk across the room, like go throw something away that everyone can see. Wow. I mean, so when you think about it, what does that really say? So he gets a special respect word, and you don't. So it's you start going, is it a respect word or is it a?
There's one more thing. Like, do you know about sati?
S-U-T-I?
Yes, S-U-T-I. It's a very old ruling, I would say like the 60s, 70s. But if a husband dies, the women, they
throw themselves on the fire.
Yeah, exactly. They the woman is the guy's property. So if he dies and he's gonna be burned, you're gonna be burned alive as well.
Okay.
You're gonna go there.
Is that still going on? I mean,
not many places.
I mean, there are honor killings going on though, right?
Yeah,
it's not just. I mean, so like where you have ruined our family's is honor. And you start going, what are we really saying with honor killings and all of this stuff? You're second class. Not me, I'm not record. And I've been really, for some reason I've been viewing the world more in that way of going, we are really saying to half the population, yeah, you're second class, because, right? So in sociology, they talk, we looked at status before, but we have ascribed and achieved statuses, right? Right? An ascribed status is what you're born with, right? It's something that you have by virtue of your birth. So, and we have achieved statuses, right? Which is things that you earn, right? So you get a bachelor's degree or you get a master's. Oops. For the recording, my apologies. Let's edit that one out. Someone making their ringtone. And I've been really thinking a lot about this because doing some readings for something for the fall about how cultures vary in the relative importance of ascribed versus achieved statuses. Did I spell achieved right? Yo can be strange. As a kid, when I couldn't spell words, I just made them messy. But I've been asked not to make the words messy on the board. So I'm sort of faced with this dilemma. So gender is an ascribed status. And so, but in many cultures and many times throughout history, this has been seen as, you know, you're a female. You are here. For the Greeks, whenever they would give the bride or the daughter to marry, they would give the father would give the girl and say, "Here is my daughter for legitimate children." That was the transfer. And it's weird. So, husband's authority and awe. Right? So, furthermore, not only were individuals not considered on equal standing, they were given different roles in marriage. And I have this picture. I love this picture. It is now in the Smithsonian in D.C. if you get a chance. It's very nice to see in person. The reason I have this is because we can start going, well, who got the grunt roles in history? Who got the subservient jobs? Now, I will tell you, like on a farm, everyone did work, but there still was a definite hierarchy. So everyone got kind of bad jobs, but there was still the hierarchy that females, there's a quote I've been trying to find, and I hope to find it so I can add to this. There's an author who was trying to describe the jobs that women tended to get, and it was the boring, repetitive, easily distracted and returned to jobs. Right? So like, okay, I distracted you from peeling potatoes, but you can quickly get back to it, you know, without much interruption. And the argument was that females tended to get the jobs that allowed them to care for children. Remember? It's been a very common view. Actually, I just realized this. When people have been doing cross-cultural ways to improve the quality of women, the biggest predictor has been education. Access to education. And education tends to encourage the females to produce fewer children, which doesn't tie them down to these types of things as much.
We just talked about that in our sociology class.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird though. I mean, like, that it's like, let's educate females. And because I've been trying to figure out why has this been such a fight, like with the Taliban and stuff. Right? Because that's one of the things they shot that girl for.
Pakistani girl.
Yeah, that she was trying to go to school.
There,
Now she's
oh, sorry. So in development, in like my UN class, we were talking about how through the UN they're promoting family planning by education because it does put off, like in these impoverished countries, like excess children that they can't feed.
Well, someone has to also take care of them.
Right.
And guess who's going to take care of them? So how does this play out in American society? So in the 60s, the norm for white culture, now I have to say that because many times we go in American society, the norm was for the female to stay home and the mother to work. Here's the truth. Black women have always worked. They have always worked. This was a white cultural ideal.